Well, Sean, this Thursday, May 23rd, is a really special day.
Oh, good. You remember that it was my birthday.
Well...
Oh. Today, we're going to be reviewing Willy Abeel's Magicoulro Items.
Welcome to the Homebrew Crew. I'm Tony, this is Sean, and today we're going over Willy Abeel's new release.
Yeah, this one is called Magicoulro Items.
But first, what is Red Nose Day?
Red Nose Day is a yearly event that occurs every May 23rd, and it's a fundraising campaign focused around giving back to children in poverty around the world.
Lots of different organizations and celebrities alike come together to host a multitude of events, shows, and bring in more donations for good causes such as Idle Gives Back, Hand in Hand, and other great campaigns.
Money raised through Red Nose Day is used to support programs that ensure children in poverty are safe, healthy, and educated.
Half the funds go to the United States across all 50 states, and the other half goes to programs internationally.
And if you want to know more, visit www.rednoseday.org to see how you can join in.
All right, so what is this release, Sean?
Yeah, so this is basically an item supplement that kind of follows up to Willy Abeel's Book of House that we actually did review not too long ago.
Yep.
And this adds a lot of great flavored magical items that you can add to either that supplement or you can even splash them in your own campaign.
See, what I like about these is that a lot of them are really silly, and there's a lot of create that comes to these. Mm-hmm. And Willy's always been one that creates and goes along on a theme. I think Book of House is probably one of the best things we've ever reviewed.
Absolutely.
And we still get a lot of people asking us about that, and in fact, asking about a physical release of that. Yeah. So let's get into this here. So we wanted to just kind of go over a couple items, and afterwards we're going to pull Willy in, and we'll be able to we'll talk a little bit about what inspired all this. So we don't want to go over everything.
No, we want people to be able to enjoy the content itself. It's not horribly long, but there's a lot of cool different items that you can, again, kind of splash in your campaign here. A lot of them are Klon themed. One of the ones that we really liked was the nightcap specifically.
I like this one a lot. Yeah. This is the one that really spoke to me. Right. This is my spirit animal.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, so this one's cool. Essentially, it's kind of this sleeping hat that you would kind of imagine, it's got the long tails with the bells at the end. But the cool thing is, it does a couple things. You have blindside out to range of 20 feet. Your speech is slurred while you're wearing the hat, but you are also under the effects of the dodge action. Any damage dealt to you is halved, and you can use your action to spend a hit die like you would at the end of a short rest.
So you got the sleepy dodge going on.
You're kind of just kind of lolling around.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But it's cool, and you mentioned this too, where it's another mechanic where you get to use your hit die. And, it's something that's kind of underutilized. It's something that's
underutilized. Classes and things that actually utilize the hit die as a source of power or anything like that, that's something that we don't get to see a heck of a lot. And I really like that was used like that.
Yeah.
The one that you liked out of here was the taffy sleeves.
Yeah, the taffy sleeves are great. Initially, I was just attracted by the fact that their sleeves made of taffy.
Well, who wouldn't like that?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's, taffy.
Yeah, this was really cool. So essentially, you can actually put these on your arms or your legs, and they have different effects. So if you have them on your arms, you have advantage on grappling checks. When you make a melee attack, your reach for it is 5 feet greater than normal, or 10 feet greater with disadvantage. So you can actually even extend your reach a little bit. If you try to go too far, it does have disadvantage. But the fact that you have the option is actually really cool.
And I like the grapple thing because they're staking.
Yeah, you're staking. Yeah, you're kind of sticking to your opponent. And then you can perform minor interactions with your limbs, such as pressing buttons, touch spells, things like that of a distance of up to 10 feet. So again, you kind of have reach even on just doing little mundane things like that.
Which is neat. I mean, it's kind of like the mage hand thing, but the mage hand goes a longer distance to be able to press things. But I like the fact that you stretch it out, and the fact that it stretches out and gets disadvantage. I mean, have you ever pulled taffy before?
Oh yeah, you're not really getting a lot of strength out of that.
Right, exactly. The longer it is, the less strength it actually has, which is cool. Now, what if you put them on your legs?
Right, so maybe you want to put them on his pants. Well, it does a little bit of different effects here. So you actually have advantage on dex checks. You are also granted the effects of freedom of movement, so you're kind of this slippery taffy.
Yeah, I like that rubbery, bouncy kind of stuff. Yeah.
You're considered to have a running start when jumping, which is another important thing too, because especially when you're running a game, a lot of people don't include the fact that you have to run versus like just jumping in place.
Right. Everyone just wants to do the cat leap, which is just straight from down, straight up.
For most people.
No.
And you can move an additional 10 feet.
Now, what's cool about that is it regains the 1d2 expended charges per day.
So at the most, you're only going to use this twice a day.
Now that we've gone over a couple of these things, we should probably grab the creator and throw him on here. What do you think?
That'd be a good idea.
All right. So cue Willy Abeel. Oh, wait a minute. We have to put the... Okay, there we go.
Hello.
Hey, Willy. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. These things are a little uncomfortable, but they're really cool. It's for a good cause, right, man?
Oh, my God. I'll take mine off, too.
Okay. All right, good. Yeah. It's for a good cause. Pretty good. We're really glad to have you on board here, and I think that a lot of people are really interested in the stuff that you've created. Book of House went very, very well. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. It was, wow. Didn't expect it, honestly.
Really? Well, that's surprising to me. It was so well written and well put together.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people are curious about some of the stuff that inspires you for it. The first question, of course, is why Red Nose Day? What inspired you to do that?
So Red Nose Day actually ties back to the fact that I was working on the clown race before the Book of House kind of came to fruition.
Okay.
Around the same time, I'm usually going by Dwayne Reed during my normal sort of day job and what have you. And they usually do Red Nose Day every year around the same time.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, hey, that's pretty nice of a coincidence. I'd eventually like to do something for Red Nose Day using this sort of race. Sure enough, the Book of House eventually came to fruition. We went through that whole rigmarole, and then the UK Red Nose Day came out, and then I teamed up with someone else who did clown stuff. And we decided, you know what, let's just try to put our stuff up as a fundraiser. And that was pretty successful. Then the US Red Nose Day, which is now kind of slapped me right in the face. And here we are making magic items, so...
Yeah, and I think you did a great job with some of these items. Some of them, I mean, personally made me laugh. I liked, and some of these things in here were just really, really great. And I don't want to undo Sean's earpiece there, or what have you. But looking through them, like the Clarity Ball Porn, that thing made me laugh.
I love that. I love that. It's basically like the funniest translator in existence. Like it's great. It's great.
I think the ball porn's one of my favorites in particular.
Yeah, I think that's great. Anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about with it, essentially it's a elastic bulb. You squeeze the nose on this thing, and it's a translator for you. I think it's awesome. Still the funniest thing I've ever seen. So with that, I mean, you had the clans that you did in Book of House. What was the inspiration behind that? I noticed a little bit of a Juggalo reference in there at one point too.
I mean, the Juggalo came after the initial inspiration.
Okay.
I think work finally actively started on the clown race, the clown, after seeing it, the remake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good timing.
If I have my timeline straight, other than that, though, there was a big impetus to try to make, a race that would kind of stand in line with the rest of the Tolkien vanilla races. Mm-hmm. Something that had its own niche.
Yeah, you had a vanilla race, but with sprinkles this time, I think. There's
and you know what's interesting?
It's sprinkles.
When I was kind of looking through people's comments, a lot of people, they were really interested. Some people were even kind of they wouldn't even imagine playing as a clown. It terrifies them. But then some people were like, that's really cool because we've never seen anything like that. I think it's just interesting to see something that's very original. I never would have thought to do something like that for its own race. So it's a really good idea.
Yeah, and we're actually, your artwork and everything else that you've gotten for each of these things is really surprising, really amazing. It's probably one of the well put together books that we've had. How long have you been creating homebrew content? Let me ask you that.
That is a great question. Let's see. So I'm kind of came from more video game design. And making video games and what have you. But then getting back into Dungeons and Dragons after being back into it, what was it? Elementary school it was. Coming back into it post-college, eventually got sick of just playing it the normal way. I wanted to make my own rules. So that was maybe about 3 years back?
Okay.
3.5?
Yeah, see, we've never really played by the rules here. We always made our own rules ourselves.
That's part of
we
homebrew.
understand what that's like.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of the success that you've had with it has been because there is a lot of flavor to what you're doing. It's not just some vanilla race, as you said, with it. There's a lot of stuff in there. I loved what you did with the gnolls. I loved what you did with your little spider people. The Tulas were really cool.
Tulas!
I love the Tulas. So.
Fun fact, the Tulas were kind of created as sort of a baby step towards recreating I think they're called the Thri-kreen.
Okay.
Because I wanted to have a multi-limbed race, but I knew that we couldn't do that like without breaking balance a little bit.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
I kind of wanted little baby hands and stuck with the spider instead.
Well, I think it went very, very well. It took me a while to realize that they're actually quite small.
I didn't realize that either.
A huge race. I went, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. They're only about, a couple feet tall. Like,
exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
But no, I think what you're doing is really, really great. And we want to help you as much as we can to get the word out there about Red Nose Day as well as this release. So the proceeds of this are going to the Red Nose Day Fund or the author proceeds, you said?
Yeah, all the author proceeds, because I believe that DM's Guild takes their own sort of cut on top of it. But you can actually donate directly to them if you want to as well, to make sure all the proceeds go towards Red Nose Day and the company Comic Relief, I believe, is their title.
That's the parent company of everything with it. Well, we're really great having you on with her. Is there anything you would tell homebrewers at home, people who are inspired by what you're doing, to do something more? I know that's kind of like a very pointed question towards you, but what would you say to the homebrewers out there that they want to do more or they want to publish something? What would you say to them?
Just do it. Like, if you have an idea, put it up there, put it in front of friends, just get it in front of people's eyes. Let them talk about it to you, either praise you, criticize you, throw your name through the dirt. Just get that feedback and keep on creating.
See, look at that. Keep brewing. Doesn't that work? All right.
Exactly. That's all you gotta do.
Well, it was great having you on, Willie. Thank you so much for it. And
thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, no worries. No worries, man. So we'll have the link in the description below for everybody who wants to check this out. You can definitely go ahead. I'm still bad at saying the name, but say it again. Go ahead. It's
Magicoulro Items.
Magicoulro. There you go.
You got it. That works.
We have a tendency to mispronounce. But if anyone wants to pick that up, you can pick it up below. You'll see the link in the description. If you'd like to send us something, always do that at dmbrewcrew@gmail.com right here below. Remember to like and subscribe. We just hit our 1,000 subscribers today, which is phenomenal.
Congratulations to us. It's been a very good week. And also, of course, we do our every other week stream on the Maw, so you may see your homebrew creations, things such as the Magicoulro items, featured on our stream that our players will have to go against or use. So be sure to check that out as well.
Definitely. And remember, the best campaigns are always the ones that are home brewed. You're going to join us on this one, Willie? So until next time, keep brewing.